I was lucky enough to be working on this year's Atlantic race, so the same row that I did, but I was there supporting people with their mental well-being. And it was really obvious with 2 crews out on the ocean this year about how that whole Google search bar was very, very relevant. So conditions had been quite testing. It had been flat, calm seas, really hot. They weren't getting big mileage. But then weather reports came through and they were told that conditions were changing. The winds were picking up. There was going to be some big seas. It was going to get funky, not dangerous, but funky. One crew were really worried because they thought, it's going to be big seas. They ended up getting anxious. What if we capsize? What if we go overboard? And they sat there talking that night and were so scared, so apprehensive about the next day. Another crew had been so fed up of not getting the miles in, they sat there talking that night saying, we can't wait till tomorrow. We're going to get some big winds, some big sea. We can surf. We can have a bit of excitement, and we'll get some big miles in, and it's going to be great. We can't wait. And I guess my thing is, what do you think happened? Because at the end of that following day, one crew had a pretty awful day. They'd got scared, they'd got anxious. Because of that, they'd ended up arguing between them. 2 of them ended up in tears. One wanted to quit. They didn't get great mileage in because they'd spent half the day falling out and getting stressed and getting upset. And a couple of them at the end of the day wrote in their diaries, that was the worst day ever. That was our worst day out there. The other crew, who were so excited about it, they had a ball. They had so much fun. They laughed, they joked, they screamed, they surfed. They had great big smiles on their faces. They got some massive miles in because they were just embracing the conditions and enjoying it. And from my perspective, it was really interesting looking at the 2 different crews because they both had the same conditions. They were both in the same situation, but they were choosing to put different stuff in their search bars. And because they put different stuff in their search bars, they saw different things. They got different things fed back to them, and they had 2 completely different experiences. One crew had the worst day ever, and one crew had the best day ever. That really came down to what they were putting their search bar in, what they were putting in their search bar, what they were focusing on. So what got fed back to them. And I think that really shows the power of your search bar and how it can impact on how you think, how you feel, and how you behave.
Yeah, and actually the conditions are the same. So it's not about what's going on. It's about how you're approaching it and what you're thinking.
Yeah, and that's so powerful, isn't it? So powerful, because that really does underline the word choice. We do have a choice in how we think, how we feel, how we behave. Not easy, because if you are scared by the conditions, your natural instinct is to put that in your search bar. But by being aware that you can change what you're putting in your search bar can then impact on the whole experience you have. That's really empowering, really empowering. So yeah, I thought that was a great example.
I love that. Thank you. That's brilliant.